will recall that we heavily covered the Trump-ordered anti-Black, anti-Hispanic, non-census year gerrymandering of Texas, which unfortunately was made possible in part by Democrats returning to the state and allowing Trump-lackey Republicans to get their precious quorum so that they could take away Black districts and, in their mind, give themselves an even larger majority in the United States House of Representatives in next year's midterms. Well, now the same battle is playing out in the state of Missouri. Take a look at this video.
Republicans are moving forward with the new map
to approve a newly drawn congressional map, and Democrats are displaying their disapproval.
The new map would likely send one more Republican to Washington, D.C. by curving up the Kansas City area.
One Democratic lawmaker is refusing to back down.
Staging a sit-in on the floor of the House chamber.
I feel like what we're doing right now is defending the integrity of democracy and the things that the people of Missouri truly believe in and value.
The government is actively silencing our voices by breaking their own rules.
The House has come to order. The House will stand adjourned until 5:30 on September the 7th.
This isn't really just about a bill or a map. It's about saving our democracy and standing up for it.
Regardless of what side of the aisle you're on, this is impacting all of us, and all of us deserve representation.
No matter which way you vote, no matter who you are, no matter what part of the state you live in, you deserve to have a voice that's equal to every other person.
This is wrong, it's insidious, and frankly, gentlemen, it's sickening.
We deserve to have that information. If you are not willing to provide it, what are you hiding?
This type of policy is morally corrupt and inexcusable.
When one of us is silenced, we're all silenced.
And joining me now are those three fighting Democrats of Missouri State Representatives Reid, no relation, Gerrymandering, and Lilly Fuchs. Thank you all so much. They're all there together. Thank you all for being here. And I want to note for everyone that the seat they're trying to remove is the seat held by Representative Emanuel Cleaver. Thank you all for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Of course. I'm going to go right down the line. I'm going to go ladies first. Representative Fuchs, tell us how this started and what is happening now.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us, Joy. It is a real honor to be here with you today. And hello to everyone watching. Thank you for highlighting what's happening in Missouri. This started with the president mandating or tweeting out to our governor to call for an extraordinary session to redistrict our maps. We have a constitutional provision that says that we will redraw district maps every 10 years after the census. We are mid-cycle and we are currently in the process of redistricting. We are in the lounge and there's debate happening as we speak, listening. This is a pretty contentious battle. It's not just the battle for redistricting. It's also the initiative petition, which is our citizen petition process that's currently being sabotaged. So we can talk about that a little bit more. But when we came back for session on last Wednesday, that's when the obstruction really started to happen. And so we really want to make sure that all Missourians and all people are being heard and represented. And so when we got to a point where we weren't being heard on the floor, we tried to do different procedural motions, and that happened on Wednesday, and I wasn't heard or recognized. And so then when we came back on Thursday, that's when Representative Dean, and I'll let you go ahead and take what happened then.
Yeah, so when it came in on Thursday, we tried to do an additional motion to bring to the fact that we don't have a quorum here. That gets kind of in the weeds of things, but ultimately the topic here is that everything that we're doing right now is unconstitutional. And that's what Democrats are standing up for, is the Missouri Constitution. We truly believe that everybody deserves a voice in the state, whether it's our voice, that whether we agree with them or not. Everybody should have a voice at that ballot box. And people should be able to choose their leaders, not their leaders choosing them.
And Reid, right now there's a supermajority. Republicans have a supermajority in the state House, I believe in the state Senate as well. So this is one of those situations that's very similar to Texas, in which you all don't have the numbers. So how do you stop them, and are you still denying them a quorum?
Yes, ma'am. We stopped them by fighting back. They got a supermajority of cowards right now. And the way we hold them accountable is by drawing attention to an issue like this, and then we mobilize in the streets. We're going to be mobilizing Wednesday at noon here in the state of Missouri at our state capitol. We're flooding the building with tons of rally goers and supporters and really just citizens of the state of Missouri to make their voices heard as the ball moves on this system.
And Representative Fuchs, I mean, this, if it's, you've made the point about the Constitution in the state, is there a court challenge coming? Because it does seem to be pretty blatantly illegal.
Yes, and in fact, we heard last night from the president of the NAACP here, President Nimrod Chappell, who sent us a message because the NAACP is suing everybody as they put out the information. So yes, there are legal challenges that are pending. And, I think it's important to recognize that our very first Constitution here in Missouri, the very first law that we ever wrote was to outlaw free blacks. And the Confederacy is still reigning high here in this state. And we're really trying to hold them back as much as we can. And that's why we decided if you aren't going to listen, then I guess we'll just kind of wait here until we get the answers from Missourians. And so that's why we decided to not leave the floor, and yeah.
And when you say the Confederacy is back, it is literal. Reid, I definitely have to get your thoughts on this. I mean,
yeah.
One of your United States senators, Senator Schmidt, and we played the sound earlier in the show, literally said that America was made for white people. It was made for white pilgrims and the ones who fought off the natives. He literally brought indigenous people into it and said that how dare they try to stand in the way of what he called himself these settlers taking this land, and said the country was built by those settlers and those pilgrims for themselves and nobody else. Like, he said it pretty clearly. As an African American who is a lawmaker in the state of Missouri, your thoughts on him saying this country's not yours, it's only for people like him?
I like to remind him who built this country, and it's people who look like me, and people who he represents, who frankly aren't going to have, state of Missouri, largely from the time of our founding, from Dred Scott to Michael Brown, has had moments in our history where the race relations here are race relations across the entire United States of America. And what we're seeing right now with this redistricting effort that they're cutting up in Kansas City, the Congressman Emanuel Cleaver's district, that's a heavily minority district. They are silencing Black voters to keep their king, Donald Trump, in power.
And by the way, they're taking a big chunk of your district and putting it into that district, right, in order to basically make that district whiter.
Well, to make other districts more redder, they're taking the blue part of my district and put it into the first congressional district in the St. Louis region.
And Jeremy Dean, the other piece of it is that they are also trying to go after the citizen initiative process. Talk a little bit about that, because Missouri really kind of shocked me, and I think a lot of other people, when the voters of Missouri said, no, we actually want to enshrine a woman's right to choose in our Constitution, and we actually wouldn't mind having a decent livable wage. They're trying to undo that.
Yeah, this is just a continued pattern that we continue to see from the Republican Party. They will do absolutely anything they can to try and silence voters and continue to have their rule over the people of this state. They obviously don't represent the priorities of what Missourians are doing here. We go out and we talk to constituents. When this started happening, we went out and did town halls. We knocked doors for these seats in the state of Missouri. We work to be in this building. And the way that we do that is by listening to them and understanding what they need. And what that is healthcare that's affordable and accessible. What they need is fully funded public schools, teachers that don't have to work as a bartender on the weekends in order to be able to pay their rent, groceries that they can afford, gas that they can afford. I mean, you name it. The state of Missouri has many priorities. The people of Missouri have priorities, and Republicans continuously ignore that. And so what we have to do as citizens is go out and collect signatures to get these things on our ballots, to do it ourselves. And whenever we do that, it makes them mad, because we are essentially overruling what they think the priorities of our state are, because they don't know what the priorities of our state are. And so what they're doing right now is trying to raise the threshold of what it takes to pass a citizen initiative petition to the point to where it's almost impossible, to the point to where less than 5% of the voters in this state could kill any initiative petition that they to. And so it's completely unfair. It's a gutting of direct democracy at its finest. And people should be looking to the state of Missouri about how great the initiative petition process is, rather than what Republicans are doing, which is attacking it and telling us that it's wrong.
Yeah, and Reid, I mean, they're using, the tactics are it's the same. There's nothing new under the sun. These people aren't that innovative. They're just doing the regular thing. How should people understand the initiative that they're putting on the ballot to try to trick Missourians into undoing the constitutional amendments they already passed?
Yeah, we call that ballot candy. They're essentially going to say, hey, we're going to give you reproductive freedom. But what they're really doing is taking away your right to choose what you do with your own body, which government has no right to tell you what to do in your doctor's offices.
And so, Lilly, should people, when that initiative, I guess it's going to be on the ballot next year, what are you instructing them to do? Because it sounds like if people vote yes, they're really voting no.
Right. We're going to have to work really hard on messaging. And that's why, Missouri, because we've had this Republican-held supermajority for so long, Missourians have gotten pretty good at collecting signatures and building coalition and working collaboratively across the state. And because of that, that's also why we see the attack on this petition process, because we have gotten pretty good at getting at the people getting what they need. When their legislature fails them, when their policymakers are failing them, they have the ability to get what they need from their government. And that's what this process is. And so it's pretty unnerving to see it dismantled in this capacity.
Yeah. I'm going to give each of you a final word here. Ray, tell us what we can do to support you. How can we help you guys to win this?
Please continue to spread the word about us. If you're in the state of Missouri, we expect to see you here Wednesday at noon. We're busing people in from all across the state and from around the state of Missouri. And if you're not in the state of Missouri, please, in your community, if it's not happening now, this kind of fight is coming to a state near you. So please get involved in your local civics organizations, Democratic Party. Talk to your legislators, your state legislators, state senators. Let them know how you feel about redistricting, and please show up to vote in November of 2026.
Yeah. Indeed. And Jeremy Dean, your protest, how does it go? Where does it go from here?
Yeah, we don't see any point in stopping now. At this point, what we are doing, we don't have the numbers in the state of Missouri to be able to stop this. In the House, we are going to lose this battle. But what we are doing is making this as painful as absolutely possible for these Republicans who continue to ignore their constituents and continue to do the bidding of Donald Trump in Washington, D.C. It's clear that Missouri values are not the same as Donald Trump's values, but they feel that they have to completely and totally impose those on the people of the state of Missouri at any cost possible. And so we're going to continue fighting. We're not going to stop. And they definitely should not expect us to stop, because at the end of the day, 2026 is coming around this corner and they're going to pay for what they're doing this year.
Lilly Fuchs, last word to you. I'm assuming you guys have been in touch with, you all have been in touch with Representative Cleaver. Has the National Democratic Party been in touch with you all, and are they giving you the support that you need?
Yes, ma'am. Indeed. We have heard from the Democratic Party. The chairman, Martin, has been incredibly supportive and helping, from the beginning when this started on Thursday. We didn't really anticipate that we were going to be at hour 102.5 at this point of our sit-in. And so right away, we had support and offerings to, help in the ways that they can and to elevate this story, because we know we've seen this in Texas. Now it's in Missouri. We know Ohio and Indiana are next. And also we see our cities, our blue cities, DC, New Orleans, these places that are coming under federal attack. So we know that whether you're in a red state and you're being attacked, you also could be in a blue city and a blue state and being attacked. So we just really need people to be paying attention to how this folds out across the country.
We're calling them the Missouri Fightin' Three: Lilly Fuchs, Jeremy Dean, and Reid. Again, no relation, but we're going to say that he's a cousin. You're all our cousins. We're going to all make you guys members of the family. Thank you all very much. Keep the fight going, and please keep in touch. Let us know how we can be of service to you.
This Absolutely. Is amazing. Thank you so much, Joy.
Thank you so much. Well, there it is, you all. You have your orders. You have your marching orders. If you're in the state of Missouri, you need to be there on Wednesday at noon Missouri time to be a part of that attempt to stand up to Republicans who, once again, it's completely coincidental. They just keep going after the seats held by black Democrats. I mean, it's just a total coincidence. They're just happening to for whatever reason, going after the seats held by African Americans. Probably just totally coincidental that that's what they're doing in every state. They're talking about going after Jim Clyburn's seat in the state of South Carolina. Weird, they're going after seats held by African Americans in Texas. I mean, maybe it's just a coincidence. I don't know. We could be completely wrong. Maybe we're thinking too deeply into it. Maybe we're making it too complicated. I actually don't think that we are. I think it's pretty clear. And the only thing that these Republicans understand is mutually assured destruction. I think what Gavin Newsom and the Democrats in California are doing is exactly right. And it needs to be done in every single state. Illinois, Maryland, Massachusetts, you name it. If there's a Republican that has a seat in the United States House of Representatives in your state, you need to be eliminating that seat ASAP so that next year that person is out of a job. Take them all out of their seats. Even if Democrats can't win the numbers game, make it hurt for them. Make it costly for them. Make them have to pay as well. Make a bunch of them have to collect unemployment or go join ICE or whatever it is that Donald Trump will have them do when they don't have a job anymore. Sorry, that's just the way I feel about it. Sorry, not sorry. Thank y'all for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe. Share this channel. Make sure that everybody subscribes to the YouTube channel. 70% of people are lurking, watching these shows and not subscribing. Why would you do that? So make sure that you like, subscribe, and throw some comments in. Thank you all for joining the Joy Reid Show. See you on the next one, and goodbye for now.